Your liver is the ultimate biological multitasker. Every minute of every day, it is silently filtering toxins out of your blood, processing the nutrients you eat, and regulating your entire metabolic system. Yet, despite its critical importance, 1 in 3 people in Western countries and 1 in 10 people in Asia currently have a dangerous liver condition entirely without knowing it. The medical community refers to this condition as non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, or NAFLD, recently updated to metabolic associated fatty liver disease. Most of us associate liver damage with chronic heavy drinking. However, this specific condition develops in individuals who consume little to no alcohol. Operating entirely independently of alcohol consumption and lacking obvious early symptoms, NAFLD has grown into a massive public health crisis hiding in plain sight. The damage starts at the cellular level, triggered by an excess of calories, specifically from sugar-sweetened and artificially sweetened beverages. When high caloric intake collides with insulin resistance, the liver takes the hit. Unable to process the excess energy, it begins storing fat droplets directly inside its cells. The environment becomes toxic, and the organ physically swells. This clinical flowchart outlines the dangerous progression. What begins as simple steatosis quietly advances into severe cellular inflammation, known as NASH. If unchecked, liver tissue permanently scars, leading to cirrhosis, organ failure, or hepatocellular carcinoma, a type of liver cancer. This specific progression poses the highest risk to patients who are already dealing with type 2 diabetes, clinical obesity, or high cholesterol. The liver is highly resilient, compensating for massive damage to keep your body running. But that very resilience masks the biological breakdown until irreversible harm has already occurred. While the liver's ability to compensate keeps the body functioning, the metabolic strain produces quiet, subtle physical warnings if you know what to look for. The most common early sign is persistent fatigue and low energy. When your liver struggles to process nutrients, your body works twice as hard to fuel daily activities, leaving you in constant exhaustion. Another subtle indicator is a dull ache, mild pressure, or discomfort located specifically in the upper right side of your abdomen. The anatomical cause is internal crowding. The liver actively enlarges from internal fat accumulation, pressing outward against its capsule. As the compromised organ loses its ability to synthesize proteins, patients experience unexplained weight loss, a sudden drop in appetite, or general muscle weakness. In rare instances, early liver strain presents as jaundice, a condition where the skin and the whites of the eyes develop a yellowish tint. This occurs because the liver is failing to process bilirubin, a yellow pigment created from the breakdown of red blood cells. By the time these physical symptoms surface, they are warning of a severe system-wide metabolic failure. Because physical symptoms usually appear late in the disease process, catching the invisible internal markers is critical for survival. During routine blood work, doctors look for elevated liver enzymes, specifically ALT and AST. High levels of these enzymes act as the body's internal alarm bells, indicating active inflammation inside the liver. To translate those blood test results into a clear risk assessment, clinicians rely on a highly effective non-invasive tool called the FIB-4 index. This algorithm illustrates how the FIB-4 index calculates fibrosis risk using basic blood markers. It cleanly separates patients into low, indeterminate, or high-risk categories. For indeterminate or high-risk patients, doctors order secondary tests, like liver stiffness measurements or ELF blood tests, to confirm advanced cirrhosis. Discovering these invisible markers through a routine FIB-4 screening gives doctors the exact information they need to halt the disease's progression. Unlike many chronic conditions, early-stage fatty liver disease is completely reversible. If you remove the metabolic stress, the liver will heal itself. The first intervention is targeted weight loss. Clinical data shows that dropping just 7 to 10% of your total body weight is enough to significantly improve liver tissue and resolve early steatohepatitis. Achieving that requires a dietary overhaul. Doctors recommend restricting carbohydrates to about 20 to 25% of your daily intake and drastically increasing dietary fiber to safely limit overall energy consumption. This chart visualizes the impact of hydration choices on the organ. When sugar-sweetened and artificially sweetened beverages are replaced entirely with water, patients show a rapid, measurable drop in both liver fat content and internal fibroinflammation. Strict dietary modification and controlled weight loss act as the most powerful medicine for clearing fat out of the liver. The next required intervention is strategic exercise. Medical guidelines prescribe at least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity every week to physically burn the fat stored inside your organ tissue. Patients must also aggressively manage the twin enemies of liver health, type 2 diabetes and hypertension, which combine to systematically destroy the liver's filtering capability. Waiting for a physical crisis, severe abdominal pain, or noticeable jaundice guarantees that severe damage has already taken place. Listen to your body's early signals of fatigue. Ask your doctor to run a FIB-4 index at your next physical, and start making the metabolic lifestyle changes today to protect the hardest working organ in your body.